Hey guys, so today what we're going to be looking at is we're going to look at the water cycle. So, water cycles in three different states: solid, liquid, and gas. This is determined mostly by temperature. Over 70% of Earth's surface is covered by oceans. Although water is constantly changing from states, the total amount of water is constantly the same. Um, it's constantly being cycled between air, water, and land. So, evaporation, this is heat from the sun and the energy that force that powers the water cycle. It heats oceans, lakes, rivers, and causes water to change from the liquid state to the gaseous state. The oceans contribute to about 80 to 90% of the water vapor in the atmosphere. During evaporation, the impurities, like salt from ocean water, are left behind. This is important because about 97% of water, of that 70% that we talked about initially, is salt water, and only 3% comes from fresh water. Condensation. This is when atmospheric temperature decreases, the water vapor or gas changes back into a liquid. Condensation is the opposite of evaporation. Small water droplets are formed in the atmosphere. Collections of these form clouds. Precipitation, this is any type of water that falls from a cloud. Tiny water droplets bounce around, in a cloud. As they hit each other, they stick together to become larger. Precipitation can occur in the form of rain, freezing rain, sleet, snow, or hail. Most of it falls back into oceans or onto land. Surface runoff, about 1/3 of the water that returns to the earth as precipitation runs off the surface of land. About 2/3 is evaporated, transpires, or is infiltrated or percolated into groundwater. Surface runoff is a very important part of the water cycle because it returns water once again to the bodies of water where the evaporation occurred. An example of that would be the melting snow. Now, percolation and infiltration, you'll see those words used interchangeably. They both basically mean getting water into the ground. So percolation is a downward movement of water from the land surface into soil or underlying rock layers. It replenishes aquifers, which store large amounts of fresh water that can be removed from the ground using a water well. So if you or anyone you know has well water, that's where it comes from. Some infiltration stays close to the land surface that can seep back into the surface or water bodies and the ocean as groundwater discharge. So transpiration is evaporation that happens from plants. So water is returned to the atmosphere by plants. Sublimation is a conversion between the solid and gaseous form of water with no intermediate liquid stage. This occurs when there is low atmospheric pressure. Examples: when snow and ice change into water vapor in the air without first melting into water. So that is the water cycle there.